John died. The bride that he was with, she died, and she was pregnant, and the child that she was carrying died. And his friend, who he was best man for, lost his legs. So I'm seeing stigma at its worst. That was a man who was essentially anti-gay. Believe it or not, there are lots of people out there who have the wrong opinions about dementia. Dementia is an illness you can live with, and you can live a better life with dementia through things like Dementia Friends. For example, Cardiff is a dementia friendly city. I did the keynote speech at the Motorpoint Arena to start the process of Cardiff being a dementia friendly city. Cowbridge is a dementia friendly town, and of course individuals become dementia friends and wear the Dementia Friends badge. So they've been trained in the basics of dementia and the sort of things that are problems. I mentioned, who do I tell? I decided I wasn't going to put up with the stigma. I was going to tell everybody. Why should I worry? If people don't like it, then that's up to them. If they don't understand it, that's up to them as well. Now, when I did tell people, I got all sorts of different reactions. There were some friends I actually see less of since I told them. I don't hold that against them. Not sure they were really friends. Other friends just took it as it was, and we socialise regularly, and I get on well. The rest of my family have been very supportive. My brother and my son sort of went in denial, really, because it was a very early diagnosis. They couldn't believe. They'd not seen anything like a brain scan. They didn't believe that I had it. You get comments from people like, you don't look like someone who's got dementia. To which I say, what does somebody with dementia look like? One thing I want to say is dementia just doesn't affect elderly people. It affects young people as well. It affects children, although that is very rare. But I meet people in their 30s who have dementia, and it's very sad that people of that age have to have the fears that go with it. But stigma became my driver, if you like, for the things that I've done since my diagnosis. But let me tell you a few things about the battles that we have. The biggest one is depression, and I think virtually everyone, but not all, have that. I would admit to post-diagnosis, considering that at some stage I might take my own life rather than let the dementia kill me. That's changed. I still have real depression, which makes me think about things like that. Agitation, noise, light, too many people, that can cause agitation for a lot of people who have dementia. Controlling our emotions is difficult. Anger is difficult, particularly for the carers. They're the ones that have to be on the receiving end of angry outbursts, and they have to live with someone who's depressed as well. I guess I haven't really thought of it before. It must be hard to do that, because somebody that you love, their personality is changing. Motivating yourself to do things can be difficult. There are good days and bad days, but motivation is something which is very hard. Sleep disturbance is the other thing. There are times when you do nothing but sleep, and then there are other times when you can't sleep at all. Again, not easy for a carer who's worrying that you're going to wander off in the middle of the night, or do something that's dangerous in the house. Also, for me, concentration is now becoming a difficult one. So you probably notice I'm glancing down from time to time. That's because I am using notes, although not verbatim. But I think to make sure I say what I want to say, I have to use notes. One of the things I also want to make clear is that when I talk about dementia and when I get involved in work with dementia, I don't do it to talk about myself. I do it to give everybody an idea of what it's like for someone with dementia. And what I will say is, exactly like all of you are different, everybody with dementia is different as well. I was very inspired by a quote which I'm going to read to you, which is, my advice to other disabled people would be, concentrate on things your disability doesn't prevent you doing well, and don't regret the things it interferes with. Don't be disabled in spirit as well as physically. And the person that said that was the late Stephen Hawking, who basically, with the disease that he had, with that great mind locked in, is someone who was an inspiration to us all. I mentioned great support from my family. My husband Bernard and my son Daniel and my mother have had the challenge of dealing with this. My mother is living in a granny flat here. She's 84 this year, and I think she's found it very difficult because I have less patience now than I did have. I've never been a person who has been prone to emotional outbursts, and the family have had to deal with that, and none of this was helped by the lockdown. I have to mention that the lockdown for people with dementia, and there have been studies by the Alzheimer's Society, have shown that the lockdown has caused problems for more than 50% of us. We've lost social skills, and others say that the progression of their disease has speeded up. So that's been a consequence